This is The Final Word.
Good evening, I'm Albie Oxenrider, and welcome to The Final Word, the show that invites you, the fans, into the conversation. This is the show where you can get your opinion on TV right here every Sunday night at this time. The Pirates have lost 4 out of 6, but they're still 19 games over 500, still tied for first place, and sending 4 players to the All-Star game. That includes a first-time trip for 36-year-old Jason Grilli.
I don't know that I can measure it. I'm still kind of trying to process and take it all in. It doesn't always happen the way you want it to, and some guys that should be going aren't. And you know, if I could take a carry-on bag, there's a lot of people I'd be bringing with me because I'm here in part because of them too.
Grilled Cheese headed to Citi Field in New York, along with 3 other Pirates, Andrew McCutchen, Pedro Alvarez, and Jeff Locke. So let's get started by introducing you to the panelists for tonight. From Channel 11, it's Rich Walsh, Rob Biertemple from the Trib, the Bucks beat writer, and the Pens beat writer from the Trib, Rob Rossi. Hello, Rob. He's out there as well. All right, big topics tonight. We have 5 of them. 4 Pirates to the All-Star game, their most since 1981. The Bucks lose 4 out of 6. Do they need to make a deal before the trade deadline? The Penguins, they bring back Rob Scuderi. What do you think of that move? Ray Shero working overtime to keep most of his team intact. And with all the money spent on the first day of free agency, we're asking the question, what was the purpose of the lockout? Let's start with the Bucks and the All-Star game. Rob Biertemple, you're batting leadoff.
Hey. Well, I think it's it's a tribute, obviously, to how far they've come in the 5 years that this new administration has been there. That they get 4 guys to the All-Star game, first time since '81 that's happened. I guess, too, it kind of points to the expectations that a lot of people in the fan base have now for this season. And, you know, you do raise an interesting question. They've lost 2 series now, back-to-back series. Only the 4th time that's happened this season, first time it's happened in a month. It's going to be an interesting time, and this is the time of year really where teams need to find that extra gear and kind of ratchet it up, and we'll see how the Pirates do there.
Rob Rossi.
One of the things I really like about these All-Star selections, and I don't mean any disrespect to Jason Grilli, a great story today in the Trib by Dan Kovacevic about the road he's traveled, but much like what happened with the Penguins, with guys like McCutchen and Alvarez and maybe Locke, these are guys that this fan base can grow with. They're guys that should be here for a while, and guys that you can really feel like they sort of entrench themselves in this baseball community. I think that's very important for the Pirates going forward. It's one thing to get fans excited. It's another thing to be excited for winning with guys that you know, and they can create a real good narrative now that Alvarez has taken that next step to join McCutchen as a true star.
Well, I think the Bucks could have had more, but I guess we can't get too greedy, in my opinion. Francisco Liriano should be in, and you can make a case for Mark Melancon. Liriano is 8-3 right now. I think that's 10th in the National League. His ERA is 2.2, which is 3rd in the National League. He should be up for comeback player of the year. This guy should be in. I understand they probably had to pick between Locke and Liriano, but I think Liriano should have got in. And if you make a case for Mark Melancon, the guy's pitched over 42 innings and has only given up 4 earned runs, and that's pretty incredible to me. Just on that stat alone, he should be in.
All right, hard to argue with the 4 that are going, though, and a great story that the Pirates have 4 in the Midsummer Classic. A reminder, keep the comments coming. You can find us on Twitter at WPXI Final Word, on Facebook at The Final Word. You can also send us your Instagram pictures. And up next, the Pirates' early July slide.
And Snyder will make the catch. Rizzo tags, and that's your ball game. The Cubs winning.
The Bucks have lost 4 of 6. Does this underscore the need for another bat? Here's an opinion. Bucks are fine, but need to find a left-handed hitting right fielder. That's from Three Rivers Sports. Thank you for the tweet. What do our panelists think? Rich Walsh, do the Bucks need to make a move before the trade deadline?
Well, you know my stance. No question about it. I'm going to stick by my opinion. I think the Pirates need to add another bat if they can. Marlins want to clean house, give up part of the future to win now, so go get Giancarlo Stanton. I don't care what you have to do. There's a lot of rumors that he's on the trading block. Like they should have went after Justin Upton last year or Hunter Pence the year before. These are guys that can help build your franchise. And if you have to give up a Jameson Taillon, I know Dan did not agree with me about this last week, but I say give it up to get a star like a Stanton. You need bats around Andrew McCutchen and these guys to compete later in the year. The one thing that I looked at, looking at the Pirates' standings right now. They were #1 in the majors, and they did not have one guy at that point over 300. Andrew McCutchen's right around there, but that's a scary thing to me.
All right, Rob B., should they make a move?
Well, yeah, I think they should make a move maybe, but I don't know if necessarily you're going to be able to find that bat that you need for right field. I think what you're going to need down the stretch and something that they could find is bullpen help. Maybe even another starting pitcher to kind of shore up things there. They've got a whole starting rotation worth of guys on the DL, it seems, and some of those guys aren't going to be available, deep into the season. I think that's the one area. The pitching has been keeping them afloat for so long this season. By the time you hit late August, early September, those guys, they're going to be a little bit gassed. I mean, we saw that Jason Grilli already needed a week off, earlier on that road trip in Seattle and Anaheim. You're going to need some arms help down the line and then try to win these games 3-2, 2-1, like they've been winning them all year. I don't know if one bat that you add to the lineup can make that big of a difference, even if it is a star caliber kind of guy.
Rob Rossi, Jerome McGinley's not available. What will the Pirates do between now and the trade deadline?
They need to go get Ray Shero. That's what they need to do. No, it's like I always say about the Penguins. They talk about winning 2-1 games, but they're not really built to win those. Same with the Pirates. A bat, it's the sexy move, guys, but they need to shore up that bullpen that's been overworked. I'd also, because they're going to win 3-2 games down the stretch if that's how they're going to get into the playoffs. I'd also like to see them, if they're going to go get a bat, shore up that bench. I just don't feel comfortable with guys like Inge having to take primary roles in this team if there's an injury or coming off the bench. I'd like to see somebody I feel a little more comfortable with to get a clean hit or a key hit. And that, to me, it's a tricky thing to do if you're a general manager, upgrade the bench, because everybody wants a star, but often that's what is the difference between a team that goes to the playoffs and a team that falters in the last couple of weeks.
Rossi, how about two bats? Justin Morneau, I know he's available. He will upgrade first base there. I think they need to go out and get some bats and help, even though Morneau has a high price tag, but I'd like to see a couple more guys in this lineup.
Rich, Rob, and Rob, thank you. A reminder, the All-Star Game is a week from Tuesday, July 16th at Citi Field, home of the Mets, and the non-waiver trade deadline, 4 p.m. on July 31st. When we come back, our panel will chime in on the signing of Rob Scuderi by the Penguins. Our social media contributors are already chiming in. They keep getting older, not younger. We've seen this story, and we know how it ends. Needed to blow it up. That's exactly what he said. That's Jay Lowry, 133. And taking us to break is a viewer video on Jerome McGinley.
McGinley has not been shy of the stance on wanting to win a Stanley Cup, which should send a sign to the Penguins front office on where they realistically stand. Sure, they've signed their coaches and key players for the next few years, but this is also the same group that's routinely failed over the last 4 to win the Cup.